Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Chaffee. It's weather in 5 days in 5 minutes as we get you going on this Wednesday. We're in between weather systems, as you can see pretty well on the satellite loop this morning. We have yesterday's weather system that has moved on out to the east and well offshore, of course. Now we have this weak system that is moving eastward, and actually, it will be weakening as it does so. The clouds will probably survive and come into the mix as we go through the day and through tonight. But the precipitation with this is going to pretty much peak out, and you can see it here, this blow up of clouds this morning across East Kansas and Missouri. And then it will just fade away as it heads towards the mid-Atlantic coast. We'll get a quiet day on Thursday, but we'll be shaping up with an onshore flow. And then here comes the next weather system right here. And that's going to be moving to the east and heading here for Thursday night and for Friday with a strong cold front. We're also going to be watching moisture that's coming into the southwestern part of the U.S. Because that's going to create something late this week and going into this weekend that we're going to just watch to see what it does. My feeling on that is going to be that it's not going to produce anything too worrisome as far as precipitation goes, and that would be for late Saturday or Saturday night. Here's what the radar looks like this morning. We've got some heavy showers and thunderstorms that are moving southeastward across southeast Kansas into Missouri. We've got a little bit of precipitation around the Great Lakes. You see the precip that's come into the southwestern part of the U.S. and into parts of Southern California. Otherwise, the rest of the country is dry. The Northeast, fairly quiet here from Maine down into Virginia. A little bit of shower activity in northwest Georgia and then off the North Carolina coast and well off the Florida coast. But for the most part, from Florida to Maine, it is pretty quiet today. As far as the severe weather is concerned, here's the Storm Prediction Center. Of course, now they're getting deeper into the month of March, and of course, going into April and May, severe weather is going to be front and center here as far as our forecast is concerned on a day-to-day basis. So we're looking at a slight risk of severe weather in parts of Arkansas and northern Mississippi, and a larger area of marginal risk being indicated. But across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states, it's pretty quiet. And going into tomorrow, this is for the period Thursday into Friday morning. We see that the general risk of thunderstorms pushes up to about New York City, and marginal to slight risk shifts east and north into northeastern Arkansas, parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, southernmost Indiana, and Illinois, and that area with marginal risk pushing on up to the northeast. We don't have any major storms to deal with, so that's a good thing as far as the next 5 days are concerned. Now, here we go for the way things are going to play out over the next couple of days. So first off, we are fine and dandy for today overall. We have got high pressure that's built overhead. It's going to keep things relatively dry. Again, we're going to be dealing with this weak weather system that is moving eastward, probably producing some clouds, and temperatures will be in the 50s from northeast Virginia to southern New England for the daytime highs. And then for tomorrow, we set up a bit of an onshore flow. That is a wind off the ocean, and that's going to bring in more clouds and hold the temperatures down ahead of this weather system that is moving across southern Canada and over the northern Great Lakes. And as it moves eastward, we're going to see some showers developing Thursday night and getting in here. Looks like most of them get in here. This is at 2 a.m. on Friday. So at this point, we've got showers and even a few thunderstorms moving into western Pennsylvania, south and west. That front moves through here Friday morning. This is at 8 a.m. Friday morning. The front is right on top of the coast. And by the way, let me just remind everybody that this low was one that the models were indicating to be off the North Carolina, Virginia coast for late this week. And we had a couple of runs of the models about a week ago producing some sort of ridiculous snowstorm. And obviously, this is another one for the books where how useless the long range can be sometimes. But this front moves on through, and you'll notice that the tail end of it goes back to this low down in the southwest. There's colder air that is coming in behind it. We have cold air from Canada that is building and going to be pushing eastward for much of the weekend and into next week. Once this front goes by, weather conditions will improve on Friday. We'll probably get into the 60s for a brief time ahead of this cold front, and then temperatures will start to ease. There's actually a secondary cold front that comes through later in the day, and that's when we'll start to see the temperatures drop off. Saturday looks good, and here comes that weather system from the southwest, again moving into the east and weakening as it does so. So there really isn't much with it. Maybe a couple of rain or even a few snow showers Saturday night into Sunday morning before the system just dies out and high pressure builds in. And the reason why we don't see anything coming of that is when you look at the upper air pattern, we have this system that's coming out of the southwest, and you see it here. This is the upper air jet stream for Friday morning. There's your system in the southwest. Here's the system in the northeast that's pushing the cold front through. Well, what happens is as we move along, we're going to see an upper ridge building here in the eastern part of the U.S. Over the weekend. And the southwest system comes out, but it weakens fairly quickly as it does so. You can barely find it here. It's this little kink here in the upper flow. Here's what a deep system looks like, what an intense system looks like coming into the west coast over the weekend. But the system coming eastward just falls apart because you've got this big upper high building in the Gulf of Mexico and pushing up toward the Great Lakes. So you're really not going to be able to do very much with that. And then early next week, we'll start off with a ridge in the east and probably another cold front that will be coming on through. So as far as major storms are concerned, really isn't anything to speak of with weather in most of the United States this week. Pockets of severe weather, not really all that much in the way of snowfall. Snowfall is going to be mostly confined to the western part of the United States while we have the upper pattern the way it is. And we're just marching along to the arrival of spring, which is only about 10 days away. All right, folks, have a great day on Weather in 5. I'm going to be traveling today. Took a little bit of a trip down south, and now I'm going to be headed back. So posting's going to be a bit on the light side until I get back to New York. So, but there's not a whole lot of weather going on. So enjoy yourselves. Have a great day, and we'll probably post something later. If not, we'll see you tomorrow.